Welcome to a video on oral language fluency. This video is all about the prosodic features of speech. At the end of this video, you should be able to use appropriate prosodic features of speech like pitch, stress, juncture, intonation, volume and projection, and rate of speech in differing oral communication. Once upon a time is usually the beginning narrative of fairy tales that you have watched or stories that you have read as a child. This opening narrative is usually read dramatically or with full emotions. Moreover, as a student, most likely your teacher have asked you to read out loud a part of the reading passage that you are discussing. Reading aloud entails a lot of challenges, for it includes modifying your voice and observing proper volume, stress, and rate. These are what we call as prosodic features of speech. First, let's discuss the big terms here: prosodic or prosody and speech. Prosody is the study of all the elements of language that contribute toward acoustic and rhythmic effects. Generally, this is the pattern of stress and intonation in a language. On the other hand, speech is the power of speaking. It is a form of communication in spoken language. Speech, being able to produce sounds, have two types: segmentals and the suprasegmentals. Segmentals are the individual units of speech, while suprasegmentals are speech features that accompany or are added over a segmental. Under segmentals are vowels, consonants, and diphthongs. Under suprasegmentals are stress, pitch and intonation, and juncture. But in this video lesson, we shall only be focusing on suprasegmentals, or what we call as prosodic features of speech. First, under suprasegmentals is stress. This is the degree of force or prominence given to a syllable or word, or the extra loudness given to a particular syllable or word in order to give emphasis. A stress is represented through a stress mark or a raised vertical line on the syllable that needs emphasis. For example, franchise. The stress mark is placed on the letter A, meaning the A sound should be stressed. It's franchise, not franchise. Interior. The stress mark is placed on the second syllable. Therefore, the correct pronunciation is interior, not interior. Oversee. Here, the stress mark is placed on the last syllable. Therefore, it's pronounced as oversee, not oversee. There are two general types of stress: word stress and sentence stress. A word stress shows what syllables in a word is stressed, while a sentence stress shows which word or words in a sentence is or are stressed. Let's discuss word stress first further. As word stress shows the syllable being stressed in each word, it is important to know what monosyllabic words are. Monosyllabic words, from the word mono, meaning one, are words with only one syllable. These expresses pain or sadness, joy, disgust, fear, and anger, just like the characters in Inside Out. Try practice saying these words, internalizing the different characters or emotions from Inside Out the movie. What? Well? Look! See? No! Now? Ouch! Wow! Aside from monosyllabic words, there are also multisyllabic words, or from the word multi or multi, meaning many. These are words with two or more syllables. These words only have one primary stress, which are said louder, longer, and higher than the rest of the syllables. First, let's have two-syllabic words. Zenith. The first syllable is Z, and the second syllable is nith. Zenith. Notice that the stress symbol is on the first syllable. Therefore, it's pronounced as zenith, not zenith. Next word, renounce. The first syllable is re, and the second syllable is nounce, renounce. This time, the stress is on the second syllable, renounce. Three-syllabic words. Amplify. The first syllable is am, second syllable is pli, and third syllable is fi, amplify. The stress is in the first syllable. Amplify, not amplify, nor amplify. Second word, astringent. The first syllable is as, second syllable is trin, and third syllable is gent. Here, the stress is in the second syllable, astringent. third word, guarantee. First syllable is ga, second ren, and third is ti. The word has its stress on the third and last syllable, guarantee. Under four-syllabic words, we have literature. The syllables are li, te, re, and ch, and the stress is in the first syllable, li, literature. Next word, professional. Pro, first syllable, fe, second syllable, sho, third syllable, nal, fourth syllable. The stress is in the second syllable, professional. Last four-syllabic word, invocation. In is the first syllable, vo, second syllable, k, third syllable, and shon, last syllable. The stress is in the third syllable, invocation. For five-syllabic words, here are the examples. Inevitable. E, first syllable, ne, second syllable, v, third syllable, ta, fourth syllable, bo, fifth syllable. The stress is in ne, second syllable, inevitable. Supplementary. The first syllable is su, second syllable is ple, third syllable is men, fourth syllable is ta, and last syllable is ri. The stress is on the third syllable, men, supplementary. Last is enthusiastic. En, thu, si, as, tic. The stress is on as, enthusiastic. There are words that when derived from its root word have no shift in stress, like the group of words below: retire, retirement, retiring, retiringly. All four words have the stress in the second syllable. But there are also words that when derived from the root word have shift in stress. For example, intro, introduce, introduction, introductory. The stress changes position in each word. The second type of stress is sentence stress. Remember that a stress may have a different meaning once the stress is shifted to another word. For example, I can't do it. The emphasis is on do, meaning it is not possible for me to do it now. I can't do it. The emphasis is on can't. Therefore, the person do not have the ability to do it. I can't do it. The emphasis is on I. So it is saying that the person is not the right person to do the task. Another example of changes in meaning through emphasis on different words in a sentence. This time, let's try to answer the given questions using the same sentence. Who told him the sad news? I told him the sad news. The emphasis is on the pronoun I. To whom did I relay the news? I told him the sad news. The emphasis is on him, the receiver of the news. What kind of news was relayed to him? I told him the sad news. The emphasis is on the adjective sad, declaring the kind of news. We're now done with one of the prosodic features of speech. This time, let's proceed with two factors that good speakers use to convey a variety of tunes. These are pitch and intonation. Pitch is the highness or lowness of a tone or a voice. There are four tunes or levels in English. They are low, normal, high, and extra high. We normally speak using the three levels. The extra high level is used to express extreme emotion, like anger, excitement, surprise, fear, and joy. The combination of any two or three pitch levels results in a tune or melody called the intonation. It is the variation of pitch in the spoken language. There are two basic intonation patterns: the rising-falling intonation and the rising intonation. The first intonation pattern is the rising-falling intonation, or the 2-3-1 pattern. Normally, we set with the normal pitch, then go up on the acceptance syllable, and then go down on the last syllable in the sentence. There are two types of the 2-3-1 pattern: shift and glide. In shift, the voice is raised on the stressed syllable and goes down on the other remaining syllables in the sentence. But on glide, the stressed syllable is the last syllable in the sentence. There is movement within the syllable. It is easier to identify the two using this graphic. Again, in shift pattern, the voice starts normally on number 2. Then it is raised on the stressed syllable, or 3, and goes down on the other remaining syllables in the sentence, or 1. On the other hand, in glide, the stressed syllable is the last syllable in the sentence, and there is movement within the syllable. This is why you have the curved line on the first number. Let's apply this in a sentence. That's expensive. Following the 2-3-1 pattern, we start off by 2. That's. Then in the next word, expensive, we know that the word expensive is stressed on the second syllable. So we continue the straight line for number 2 until the first syllable, X. Then raise the bar to 3 for the stressed syllable, pen. Then it goes down for the rest of the syllables, sieve. That's expensive. What's your problem? You may first identify the word that needs to be stressed. In this sentence, it is problem. Since we now know the word that needs to be emphasized, next you have to think of is the primary stress in the word problem. It's the first syllable, prob. So place the third intonation on top of prob. Now that you've identified the 3 in the 2-3-1 pattern, all words or syllables before prob is number 2, and all words or syllables after prob is number 1. Now let's have examples on their glides. Turn off the lights. Remember that in glides, the stressed syllable is the last syllable in the sentence, and there is movement within the syllable. So let's identify the last syllable in the sentence. Turn off the lights. Since the last word is lights, and it only has one syllable, the la is our number 3, then after that, there should be movement. So we place the curve. Everything else before it, turn off the, is number 2. Next sentence. I don't understand. I is the first syllable, don't is the second syllable, on is the third syllable, der is the fourth syllable, and stand is the last syllable. Therefore, the peak is on sta, and then we'll place movement after that. Then everything before sta is number 2. The 2-3-1 pattern is also used for information questions or questions that require definite answers. For example, what did you have for breakfast? We use the shift pattern here. Let's start off with number 2. What did you have for? Then, since this is a question, we put emphasis on the last word. But the stressed syllable of breakfast is brick. So that's our number 3. The next syllable after that is fast. So we drop it off at number 1. The second intonation pattern is the rising intonation or the 2-3-3 pattern. The voice starts with a normal pitch, then goes up on the accented syllable, and remains up till the end of the sentence. This pattern is used for questions that are answerable by yes or no. For example, are they still in the hall? This sentence is answerable by yes or no. So we use the 2-3-3 pattern. The voice should start in a normal pitch, then goes up to the accented syllable, which is hall, and it remains there until the end of the sentence. Are they still in the hall? Will you allow me to go? Again, this sentence is answerable by yes or no. So the voice starts in a normal pitch, then goes up to the syllable go and remains up until the end of the sentence. Will you allow me to go? Let's put our understanding on intonations while reading the poem Dreams by Langston Hughes. Hold fast to dreams, for if dreams die, life is a broken-winged bird that cannot fly. Notice that the portions with the higher pitch are found in the first part of each line, and the lower pitches are found in the end of each line. Emphasis can also be noticed in the third line where life is defined. While reading the poem, intonation is not the only key to give emphasis to the words and convey its meaning. Another prosodic feature used was juncture. It is the interruption or break in continuous flow of the speech. It is also called as pauses in speech. In order to indicate pausing, we use slant lines. There are different symbols we use to indicate pausing. One slant line is for a short pause. Two slant lines are used to indicate long pause. Then the octothorpe or the hashtag is used to indicate stop or period. The grouping of words into thought groups depends mainly on what the speaker wishes to convey. Very often, we are understood because we don't pause at the right word. Phrasing can completely change the meaning of the sentence. Here we have the same sentence but are paused differently. Mother thought Dad was already home. Mother thought Dad was already home. In the first sentence, it is mother who was already home. In the second sentence, it is father who was already home. James, the player, had an accident. James, the player, had an accident. In the first sentence, James is a player and he had an accident. But on the second sentence, someone is informing James that the player had an accident. Remember that juncture or pause is important as 1. It builds up suspense and emphasizes the word or sentence that follows. 2. It gives listeners time to assimilate the word particularly for dramatic effects. 3. It increases the impact of feeling projected. And 4. It breaks the continuity of thought that makes the listeners bored. Let's read this quotation by Yanko following the proper juncture. Achievements come only to those who are unafraid, to those who have courage, to exert their strength and power against countless obstacles, and have the guts and determination to accomplish what they have started out to do. Last prosodic feature of speech that we are going to discuss is rate. The English language is characterized by variations in speech. It is important to vary your rate of speaking to avoid monotony. Rate is the speed of speaking in words per minute from slow to fast. Important words are lengthened, unimportant words are shortened. Vowel sounds and some consonants are stretched out to slow the speech rate. Slow speech suggests calmness, acceptance, formality, serenity. But too slow speech may suggest laziness, dullness, uncertainty, and lack of intelligence. Rapid speech, on the other hand, may suggest excitement, anger, enthusiasm. But too rapid speech may also suggest fear, nervousness, tension, and anxiety. Let's have sample sentences under each rate of speech. For slow speech, that's a nice idea. Too slow speech, I feel so low today. Rapid speech, your decision is simply marvelous. And too rapid speech, hurry up, the bus is leaving. The English language is an interesting language to learn. Like any other language, it has its special features that make it distinct from the other languages. Remember the various ways to give variety to meaning or the different prosodic features of speech: stress, intonation, juncture, and rate. Thank you for listening and see you on our next English lessons. Bye!